So today's video is going to be pretty brief. So as you can see here, I did get a package in the mail. This is from Algae Bar. Please sponsor me. I am a big fan of Algae Barn. I have been using their products for quite some time for other tanks. I have a 32 BioCube that I have seeded different things with from Algae Barn. I've bought Ketamorpha from them as well for a hang-on back refugium project that I did for a 20 gallon that I was working on back in the day. And I've also bought quite a few invertebrates from Algae Barn as well. I think that they're really good. The shipping came really quick. I ordered this on Monday and I received this Wednesday morning. So that's actually really good. I have stuff that I've ordered from other places that it's been a week now and I haven't even received. So Algae Barn is really good about getting your stuff out to you, especially because, as you can see, there are live animals in here. Now, before we get too excited, these are practically microscopic invertebrates that I've ordered called copepods. And we're gonna go ahead and get this open and look into that. If you have taken any biology classes or know anything about biology, specifically marine or aquatic biology, you'll know that one of the things that helps a closed ecosystem like a fish tank thrive is biodiversity. And as you can see right now, the tank is pretty sterile. The only things in this tank other than the nitrifying bacteria that are alive are the two clownfish, Ponyo and Sosuke, as you can see there. As we add things to the tank, the bioload increases, which is, the waste that is given off by the living organisms in the tank. And also the nutrients in the tank obviously change, as you add living things, your nitrates can go up, your nitrites will go up as more things are excreting waste or respiring in the tank. So because of that, it's never really a good idea to just dump a bunch of fish into a tank, because even though the tank may be cycled, it is cycled to handle a certain bioload. So as you can see here, I did get two things from Algae Barn. I got this jar of what looks like just water from afar, but this is their 5280 pods. Let's let that focus. It's got different live copepods in there. As you can see, it's got 3 different species. Tigrippus, Tuvelo, Apociclops. You can see pictures of what they look like on the bottom. From the naked eye, they do just kind of look like dots, and I'll show you a little bit closer view of that momentarily. I did also get the Ocean Magic live phytoplankton. This you can go ahead and feed, and they will also eat off of that as well to proliferate their growth. Phytoplankton is also good for different corals as well as other filter feeders. They love them. So it's good for your tank in general. I don't really have anything in this tank specifically other than the pods that typically I dose this for, but it's always good to have. So now when we're adding the copepods to the tank, there are some steps that I believe are very important. The first step is going to be making sure that your filter is off. You want the copepods to be able to ground themselves onto the rock and be able to make sure that they get into crevices and things that they're able to hold on to without being sucked up into your filter, sucked up into your protein skimmer. You want some of them to make sure they get to the rock so they're not immediately snatched up by predatory fish, because even though you may be looking, you're like, oh, they're just clownfish. No, they're under the impression that they are sharks. So they will snap these copepods up quickly as they're free swimming. So we want to give the copepods the best chance possible to get into the rock and start reproducing.
Snap my neck. She said she snapped my neck.
I will snap your neck. Snap your neck and pop your eyeballs out all at the same time.
You also want to make sure that you, or at least what I do, I like to make sure that I have the light off. So I will be turning the light off, and I will be leaving the light off pretty much for the rest of the day. That way the copepods have as best of a chance as possible to establish themselves a colony and get, you know, acclimated. Speaking of acclimation, I do also like to acclimate the water in the jars. So for a little bit, these copepods are basically going to be sitting in this jar in the water, just kind of chilling, so that way the water in this tank will also match the water in the jar. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll check on them afterwards. Also, I'm kind of lazy, so I did put the jar in its entirety in here. The jar is sealed, so I don't think there's any exchange of water happening between the two vessels. And the jar is buoyant, so the jar will just lazily float along the water column. So have at it, I guess. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I've let the jar acclimate. I might have left it a little bit too long. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. So it's 20 to 25 minutes later. The water should be the same as inside the jar now, or the jar should be the inside. I'm sorry guys, these guys are like in this jar like.
Doing son? Nothing, just chilling, killing.
We're gonna go ahead and release these into the jar. Jeez. We're gonna release the jar into the tank, guys. Bear with me. So, what are the copepods for? The copepods will help break down things like detritus. They'll get into little small nooks and crannies and help out the tank with handling its bioload. The copepods are actually a good source of food too for my clownfish. I've noticed that tanks that have copepods in them, I've watched specifically my clownfish in the past, but in other tanks, I've seen them hunt the copepods. My Royal Grama that I have in my 32, he also enjoys picking the copepods off the rocks. So it's a little bit of extra supplemental food for them as well as helping be a part of the cleanup crew and helping with biodiversity. I know that there's some corals, I believe, that will also feed off of copepods or trap them, and you know, it's just really good to have around. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add the copepods. So when you add the copepods, what I like to do is I like to take my little jar, and what I will do, I'm gonna try to get this on camera. I like to try to basically turn the bottom of the jar down onto the rock, so that way basically it disperses directly onto the rock, so that way they can just get in the grooves and disappear from the ravenous clownfish that are going to be waiting. So let's get that set up. All right, so this is how I like to do it. Hopefully this shows and you can see. Now watch, when you see the clownfish going ham, just know that they're going ham for the copepods. Oh, this is a wide jar. Okay, this might not work how I exactly want it to, but so as you can see, the filter is off. Look, you can already see the clownfish starting for them. All right, so that didn't work out quite how I wanted it to, but if you look, you can actually see all of the Yeah. So basically they'll make their way down and they will cling to the rock. They'll start reproducing like crazy. You can kind of see them in the water. Something else that I did, so I'm surprised. Well, I mean, they're fish. They like to eat.
Yeah, that's all you can say. Can you come up with something else? Can you come up with something else?
Something else that I did was I made sure that I fed the clownfish in advance so that way they would be, yeah, see, they're chilling now. So for this part, I usually leave the filter off for just a couple minutes, let them do what they need to do, and then I'll turn the backflow back on, and whoever's not attached just isn't attached. I'll be back. So basically this is how the tank will remain for the rest of the day. In a couple minutes I will be turning back on the return pump and we will be calling it a day from there. This has been basically the entire process essentially. So I just added this part in post just so that way I could show you guys how the tank looks. The copepods, believe it or not, are in this tank. They have clung to the rocks. There's some on the glass. There's some kind of free floating, as you can see. I just wanted to go ahead and just show you guys. Oh, there's a snail. Isn't that crazy? Anywho, I just wanted to show you guys the finished product, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up from here. So this was just a very short in-between video just to show you guys some steps that take place in between the main videos that we do on the process of getting this reef tank set up. So let me know if you guys have other ideas for videos that you guys would like to see. I want to branch out and do other types of projects that I've been planning other than just this one saltwater tank, so keep an eye out for those as well. And I'm very glad that we were able to do this video, short as it might have been or simple as it might have been. I think it is a important step in my opinion to cultivating a flourishing reef tank, and it's something that people either overlook or don't have the most knowledge on. So I thought that it might have been an interesting video just to show you guys the little processes that I do in between the big videos. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you down the road.